We have a lawsuit that alleges that Brother 12 here has taken inappropriate funds and misused them.
Witness, if you will, a courtroom, though it's about to transform into a circus. At the center of the proceedings is a most unusual man who calls himself Brother 12. He is the spiritual leader of a secretive cult that operates on a mysterious island off the coast, and today he's being sued by his bookkeeper for mismanagement of funds.
To use for his own nefarious purposes. This man right here.
Thomas P. Morton is the lawyer prosecuting Brother 12. He's in the midst of making an argument when suddenly something goes terribly wrong. The lawyer drops like a stone, collapsing onto the courtroom floor. And soon after, multiple people in the gallery pass out as well. The judge attempts to regain control over the situation, but soon finds himself unable to speak. And instead begins growling like a dog. And in the midst of the chaos, Brother 12 calmly rises in the gallery as the courtroom empties out. So who is this man? Does he truly possess supernatural powers? And where are the millions of dollars in gold that he swindled from his followers? Ultimately, this court case will be dismissed, but the legendary story of Brother 12 has only just begun. Before there was Charles Manson, before Jim Jones, and long before the madness of Heaven's Gate or the Branch Davidians, there was the cult of Brother 12. In the late 1920s, an English spiritualist has a vision in which he is anointed the 12th disciple of the Masters of Ancient Wisdom. Now known as Brother 12, he forms the Aquarian Foundation and uses his mystical powers to convince his followers to surrender their worldly possessions on an isolated island off the coast of Canada. But the idyllic life he promises them soon begins to crumble. He converts hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations into gold coins that he buries in 43 mason jars around the island. And when his followers rebel, Brother 12 burns their compound to the ground and vanishes, allegedly leaving his hidden treasure behind. Now, descendants of an original cult member have uncovered new evidence that could lead to Brother 12's riches. And then there's the question of his supernatural powers. The man who literally wrote the book on Brother 12 is searching for the truth. Brother 12's reign grows more and more delusional, until he actually declares himself the reincarnation of the Egyptian god Osiris. The cult members can take no more. There is dissent, followed by an escape, and ultimately, legal charges are brought against Brother 12 for misappropriating donations for his own gains. At the trial, the cult leader causes people in the courtroom to faint on command. And what do you make of that? Do you think that he had abilities?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah, because there's so many witnesses. A lot of other occultists claim to have these powers, but Brother 12 demonstrated them in a courtroom.
Right.
The judge also succumbed to Brother 12's spell. The judge growled like a dog before he was able to say in a shaky voice, "This court is adjourned."
It's really crazy.
He had power. There's no doubt about it. He had power. He had the power of a Rasputin. He had the destructiveness of a Jim Jones, and he had the brilliance of an L. Ron Hubbard.
Huh.
So they were all together in Brother 12.
Right.
Josh, I brought a few things to show you.
Next, John shows me some of the artifacts he's collected over his decades of research.
This is the typewriter. This belonged to Robert England, who was the secretary-treasurer of the foundation.
Wow.
He worked with Brother 12 for 18 months side by side, and he became disillusioned.
This disillusionment wasn't just about an ethical dilemma. In fact, the former follower was terrified of something connected to Brother 12, a dark entity only he could see.
He writes about it in a letter that he wrote to Brother 12. It's in that envelope.
Here.
Yeah. And this letter was typed on this very typewriter.
So this is from Robert England. So he says, you were surrounded with a dull gray mist or fog, and a helmeted and evil-faced monk who stood some feet behind you with a hellish leer upon his face. Terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
So people came to believe that he was, in a sense, kind of possessed?
Possessed, that's a good word for it. He was taken over by this force.
Wow. That's scary stuff.
Well, it is scary.
So let's take a look around.
Okay, let's go.
Let's bug out.
I'm just gonna go right up to that fence line there. Hey, Josh,
You got something?
come on over.
What do you got, man?
We've got potentially a mason jar here. Look at that.
It looks like the bottom of a mason jar.
Wow, incredible. This is a mason jar. It's identical to the mason jars that he buried his gold in. Exactly the same.
And really old. That patterning? Oh, let's keep digging, keep digging. Ooh,
Oh, wow.
look at that!
Oh, wow.
That's a mason jar lid. That's literally the lid to the mason jar.
That's right. Look at that.
Ball, the mason jar company.
Yep.
And then inside, genuine zinc cap. That is an original zinc mason jar cap. That's not 10, 20, 30 years old. That's really old. This is like 100 years old.
Yep, absolutely.
This is now definitively old enough that this could be one of the mason jars that Brother 12 was using on this island.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. He may have held this cap. He may have screwed this onto a mason jar filled with gold.
Right, that's very possible.
Which means he either dug it up and emptied it, or about to get rich. Right?
Yes.
Let's keep digging. Come on. Let's see what's in the bottom of this hole.
I think we need to dig this up a little bit better.
Let's see what else is down here. It's almost like a cavity in there. You can feel it.
Yep.
Wide open.
Let me,
Get in there. What is that?
I don't know.
Is it a jar?
You got mason jar pieces.
Just more and more. Pulling up these old pieces of these jars.
Oh, yeah, there's way more.
Look at this. We dig deeper and deeper, unearthing more of the cult-era glass. But there's no gold to be found tonight.
I think it's fantastic that we found a mason jar in the ground that could have contained Brother 12's gold. That's a feat in itself.
And the legend lives on.
The legend lives on with...
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to, draw me into this world. I appreciate it.